Ah, toasty warm. I got a cup of coffee. You're about to watch me talk. What else do we need for 6:30 in the morning? Look at all this hair on my face. Three, two, one. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Tuesday. It's January 12th, 2021. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Saying 2021 still sounds weird. It sounds like we're saying 2020 and then we're like rambling on into something else. 2020, one day I'm gonna, right? Like, needs a different name. 2021. Have you seen the memes where it says 2021, like WON, as in 2020 defeated us? Sometimes it feels like that. But every day's a new day, new opportunity to do whatever, tackle the world. Yeah. So yesterday was a pretty good day. Got a lot of work done. Got an email from a prospective client who said they want to take this next step, which is a marketing evaluation. I think I handled a client getting upset pretty well. Let me explain that one. So I use FreshBooks for my invoicing for my clients. I have no relationship with FreshBooks. This is not a advertisement for them. They do not pay me for this. But it's been really great for my consulting work. And I think for any like small consulting team where you're providing services rather than products, it's probably a good fit. It's easy. All of my clients are set up on retainer. And by default, there's a little checkbox that says, charge my card for this retainer, next month too. And not everybody sees that. And sometimes they have to go in and change it. And this client got upset last month when their card was charged automatically because they approved it. And then I told them, I said, here's what you do to fix it. And they said, okay, thanks. And it happened again this month. And they were really upset. And I said, we talked about this. And spent a lot of time thinking about and writing a very, very short email so I didn't offend them. And I think we're good there. So bottom line, I'm getting close to maxed on clients, which is crazy. I had a goal for 12, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to handle it. At least not until I put some better processes in place. I think I'm gonna need some more help, but doesn't mean I won't take them on. I will find a way. I always find a way. If the money's right, I'll find a way. What else happened? Bunch more editing on the book. You're well into past halfway now. The water got fixed at my house last night at like 6. I think you left it like 6:30. So this beard is going to be trimmed down a little bit. I'm going to shave, cut my hair. Really excited to take a shower. When I take a shower Sunday morning. Yeah. So it's not like it's been forever. But it's nice to have running water again. And we made plans for fixing some stuff. I don't have hot water at the kitchen sink anymore, which is totally fine because I don't use it. I use a dishwasher. And the dishwasher has a heating element, so we're fine. What else? What else happened yesterday? We had a new episode with Eric Johnstone come out. That's been really well received. Today I'm recording a number of episodes. I got Andrew and I are doing a follow-up to the episode we did on appropriate force with a law enforcement officer who is a martial artist. Andrew put that together, which I'm super pumped about, so thank you, Andrew. Andrew's been such an amazing asset to the show. He really has. He's killing it. I got a standard interview at some point. It's just all calls, like all day. I think and then I've got, and then the last thing I've got acupuncture at 3:30. It's the last thing of the day. And then I'll go work out, have some dinner. You know, not a super fancy day, but a good day. Oh. There aren't a lot of fancy days. There really aren't. So, let's see what you wrote in. Let's see what's here. And remember, if you want to leave me something to talk about, you can drop it in the comments section below once today's show closes. I say that a lot, just to remind you. So we got stuff from Frank today. As always, thank you, Frank. Who couldn't use some good fortune these days? Fortunately, I saved a few for just such an occasion. And we've got 4 fortune cookie-esque statements. Every day is a new life to a wise man. It's amazing how just a few hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, 4 hours, however long you sleep, can really be such a reset emotionally. You know, you have a bad day, and if you're willing to let go of it, watching the cat try to get comfortable. She's not the heating grate that she's laying next to. She's sliding into it on the floor, and it's apparently too hot for her, so she's not thrilled. She wants to lay. Yeah, sorry, Fuzz. I think we've all had this experience where we go to bed, and it's like, tomorrow's a new day, and we wake up, you're like, today's a new day, and you can make it a new day, and you can hit that reset button, and there's no like real line that's been crossed, but because we stop thinking about whatever negative's going on, whatever the bad stuff is, whatever's making that day a not great day, we can let it go. Now it hasn't happened, at least not recently. Now it's a fresh start. You can make that fresh start anytime. We do the same thing at New Year's. It's an arbitrary day. When do you want to have a fresh start? You have control over that. It's the attitude you bring to it. If you want to think about the beginning of each month as a fresh start, well, boom, you got it. If you want to think about the beginning of each week, you've got it. You don't have to wait for some arbitrary tick on the calendar or the clock to hit the reset button. Sometimes my reset button is training or lifting weights or going for a walk. When I come back from this walk, I'm going to be better. I'm going to spend the walk venting, maybe quietly or maybe even out loud to myself about whatever's bothering me. And then I'm going to let it go as soon as I walk back in the house. I commit to that. Almost like a self-hypnosis sort of thing. You can do that at any time. It's not difficult. You can do this. Beauty is in the mirror you look at every day. Enjoy your being. When we say things like this, when we say, you're a beautiful person, we instantly go to the physical. We instantly assume that we're talking about something that is externally and socially deemed attractive, and usually more so than, let's say, average for most. But the irony for me there is that that's the stuff you have the least control over. I didn't set my genetics. I look like this. Am I getting stopped on the street to be asked if I want a model? Nope, not happening. I'm okay with that. But what about the stuff I can control? What about the stuff you can control? Your personality, how you treat people, how you show up for others, your desire for personal growth, etc., the inside stuff. The stuff that, let's face it, really does matter so much more. That's what I think is beautiful. And there are people I know who are, what's that? What's the line? Hold on, there's a line in a song. There's a line in a Kanye song, I believe it's on his first album. The prettiest people do the ugliest things. Why? Because they can get away with it. But what about the other stuff? What about the other people? We can't get away with it. I can't get away with being a jerk to everyone. Nobody's gonna want to hang around me. If I was, 6'4" and had a chiseled jaw, maybe. But they wouldn't be people of substance. Beauty is all around us. The line, the quote, whatever, talks about the mirror. One of the things that I've been working on this year, short as the year has been so far, is appreciating myself when I look in the mirror. When I do this show, looking at myself, appreciating myself. And that doesn't necessarily mean physically, though I'm working on my body. No, I'm not going to show you. It's not that kind of show. But the recognition of how far I've come as a person, as a human being, in service to others, in service to myself, the goals I've achieved, and the things that I'm going to achieve, the things I'm in the middle of achieving now. It's really hard to look in the mirror and talk to yourself, to see yourself, especially when you're vulnerable. The irony is, we're really good at hiding in front of other people, but we're not good at hiding in front of ourselves. But why do we need to hide in front of ourselves? When I coach people, especially martial arts, that was a horrible sentence. When I'm coaching people, especially in a martial arts setting, and they have difficulty being in front of others and performing. So the best example is teaching someone to improve their form, kata, pumse, whatever you call it, in competition or at testing. A lot of people get stage fright. They can handle the sparring, people trying to punch them in the face. They can handle basics because quite often there would be someone else doing the basic techniques with them. But forms, quite often, especially in competition, you're doing it solo. You can't hide. And so the advice I will give people is, I want you to do what you can in the mirror. Go in the bathroom, shut the door. Maybe you're not going to be able to do the form, but you can look at yourself. How long can you look at yourself in the mirror without looking away? Most people cannot do it for long at all. They get uncomfortable in a few seconds. And there's something huge there. And it's not just martial arts. It's fundamental. And the better you can get at doing that exercise, the better you're going to be able to show up for everyone else and, more importantly, yourself. And I think, to put a bow on it, there's a lot of beauty in that. Education's purpose is to replace an empty mind with an open one. Not a full one, an open one. Education's purpose is to replace an empty mind with an open one. There was a quote I cut out of a magazine when I was a kid, I was a teenager, that was on my bedroom wall. I don't remember the exact quote or where it came from, but the gist of it was, the purpose of education is not to fill your brain with facts and figures, but to teach you how to think and research and learn. And there are times when we forget that. There are times when plenty of teachers focus on drilling facts and figures into kids' heads. That was something I never understood in school. Why do I need to know the date for this? When will I be in a situation where it's important to know this date and I can't look it up? Well, sure, maybe if I go on Jeopardy, some kind of quiz show, trivia night at a bar. Okay. But that's not really important, is it? What's more important? Why the date and the thing that happened was important. It's easy to test objective facts. It's a lot harder to test subjectivity and understanding, which is why it doesn't happen. It's why the further you get in the educational chain, the more that matters. Someone's defense of a PhD dissertation, standing in front of people in the department, being asked questions, making sure that they understand it, right? You don't do that in kindergarten. What color is this? This is blue. Okay. Now you move on, right? So we see some of it, but I think we need to see a lot more of it. How does that apply in martial arts? Do you have an instructor who asks questions? Or do you have an instructor who just tells you answers? I think most instructors just tell you answers, just in my experience. But the best ones, they ask questions. Because they recognize that their view on things may not be the final say, may not be right for you. When I teach self-defense, I'm asking a ton of questions. If you don't ask questions as a teacher, how do you know who your students are? How do you know why they're there? How do you learn about them? If two people hang out and one of them does all the talking and states facts all the time, and the only thing that is really permitted of the other person is to ask questions of the first, that is not a dynamic exchange. That is not a situation where people get to know each other. Why is it important to get to know each other in martial arts? Builds trust. Trust is pretty important when you're asking someone to punch you close to the face but not in the face, or light contact in the face, or depending on the school, punching someone in the face but not as hard as they can. Trust matters. Questions matter. Information matters. I just dribbled coffee. And I'm more upset because I dribbled coffee and now it's less coffee I get to drink. That ended up being a good cup. It was a little hot when I started. I'm tempted to rate my cups of coffee on a scale of 1 to 10, but I don't think anyone would find that interesting. Last one for today. Do not be too timid and squeamish about your actions. All life is an experiment. Say this another way. Don't regret what you do. Learn from it, if you must. When I think back, there are a very, very small, I think, if I'm really honest with myself, there are like maybe 2 things I've truly regretted. There are things I would not do again. That list is long. But the things I regret, because they did harm to someone else. I treated someone unfairly. That's a really short list. Now what about the things I didn't do? That's a much longer list. Things that I regret not doing in hindsight. I regret not going on that adventure, or taking that trip, or saying yes to that person. And you learn. You learn from those decisions. You try to make better decisions. Your regrets can be really powerful, but they can hold you back if you dwell on them. You cannot change the past. It deserves only so much energy as you need to hold on to the good memories and to learn the lessons, to make sure that those lessons are maintained. Anything more than that is wasteful. What about the future? It deserves only as much energy as is needed to stay on track and excited, hopeful, positive. Where's the rest go right now? Being present. It's hard. But there's a reason that my knowledge, all world religions have something about meditation, even if they don't call it that, being present, and personal and spiritual growth. It's about living in the moment. It's about being right now. Letting go of daydreaming. Just simple, but it's not easy. And there we go. That's where we'll end. Thanks to Frank for giving me those a little bit different today. I liked it. Thank you. I hope you all did as well. If you've got stuff you want me to talk about, drop it in the comment section below. And remember, if you want to support us, we've got a Patreon. You can also buy stuff at whistlekick.com with the code FIRSTCUP15. If you're new, please subscribe. Turn on notifications because we do the show every weekday, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, here on YouTube. Catch it later in audio form. And don't forget all the other stuff we do. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your support. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. Take care, everybody.